I remember being at a IABC International Board meeting, and there were 25 people in the room. And the icebreaker was, introduce yourself, where you work, and what IABC means to you. And 22, I've never forgotten it, 22 of the 25 people in that room were in the job they were in because of their membership in, but more importantly, their volunteer work and leadership work in IABC. My first job here in London was launching the telethon for the Children's Hospital of Western Ontario. That was my first job, was on a 9-month contract. We had to go find typewriters. That's how we started the telethon, literally from scratch. I said, I'll stay and do the next one, but I need a 12-month job, not a 9-month contract, because I just finished school at Western. And I managed to talk my way into the communication department at Victoria Hospital, full-time. Myself and my colleague, Laurie Lashbrook, also president of IABC London, were hired on there, and our boss at the time, John Burke-Gaffney, was an avid fan and advocate for IABC. And he encouraged both of us to go to the meetings and to volunteer on the chapter board. So that was really my start to IABC in the London chapter. And in those days, coming out of journalism school, it was really a chance for me to learn how to be an effective communicator. I went to all of those monthly luncheons and monthly professional development opportunities, and that was my practical education in communications. And I had the opportunity to become the chapter president, ended up going on to become a district leader, and ended up becoming the IABC Global Chairman in 1997-98. So all the way through that, it helped with my professional career and got me to the international board and gave me exposure to people and occupations and opportunities that really led me in my career to where I ended up. My pager, yeah, it was a voice pager. That was state of the art back then, now it's something in your ear just clicks. As I look back on, 35 years ago, oh my God, PageMaker was the big thing, right? You could plug in and do, 15 font sizes all in one document. That was real good. At the time, we had the youngest liver transplant in Canada. And the little girl's name was Amanda Cathro. I'll never forget it. And her parents, oddly enough, were right around my age at the time. And there was, of course, a lot of media attention all across Canada. And so part of my role was to work with the family and counsel them and help them through with their daughter. The first transplant, unfortunately, wasn't successful, and the second transplant, unfortunately, wasn't successful. So it ended up being a sad ending, but I got really close to the family, and usually in my role in the hospital, a lot of healthcare workers do get close to families, but it didn't happen very often for me. But I can remember the husband and wife came by my office just before they went back. They were from Alberta, I think, and they gave me a bottle of wine, and that bottle is still in my liquor cabinet. I think the second thing was the president of the hospital called me to his office one morning, and he said, can you be here at 8 o'clock? And I said, oh, sure. And I get over there, and he had a big round table, and there on the table was a piece of paper. And on the top of the piece of paper on the left-hand side was the University Hospital logo, and on the right-hand side was Victoria Hospital. And he says, we've decided to merge, and we need to tell the staff today. That was 8 o'clock. So by 2 o'clock, we had like 2,000 people in a big empty space over at Commissioners Road and announcing the merger, which is now the London Health Sciences Centre. So that was the busiest 6 hours of my communication career. And then all through all the public meetings and everything to actually make the London Health Sciences Centre come to fruition. So that was, from an organizational standpoint, a very memorable and altering experience for me. There are so many tools that are available to communicators today, now, and will be in the future, but there's still the bottom line is that employees and individuals like that personal connection, and find a way to continue to be able to make that. Don't just rely on the outputs, but really focus on the outcomes. So it's not just that you're posting things or it's on Twitter or whatever the different methods are, but are you measuring the outcome? Are you actually reaching the individuals with that information? And are they using that information to change their behaviors in a positive way? Not lose sight of that with all of the tools available to you. Make sure that you're focused on that outcome, not just the outputs or the tools or the fancy things you can do.